Mulligan Civil War site. So we got a trail site, a trail to follow. Tells about the construction of the fort. It was constructed from August to December of 1863 by Union troops under the command of Colonel James A. Mulligan, known locally as Fort Hill, which is actually what I've always heard it called. So you got constructed dirt earthworks. The fort's inner walls are lined with timber. Defensive barrier of cut trees known as an apatis was on the outer entrenchment walls to prevent a major assault. And we will follow the story of Joshua Winters, a private in the Union Army. Kept a diary of his military life and wrote to his sisters weekly. So the struggle for control. And the fort was actually evacuated on January 31st, 1864 by Colonel Joseph Thoburn due to an enemy attack by Confederate General Jubal Early. So he stated his men discouraged the works for the remainder of 1864 and 1865. Sharp action continued sporadically in the area, but Mulligan was never occupied as a garrison again. To begin this walk, a little introduction, I want to read some of the sign. It's been quite a few years since I've been up here. It's right above the hospital, so you can see the hospital here in the background of some of the scenes. Grant Memorial Hospital in the background, and they have a cannon pointing at them. Interesting. Parrot rifle. Usual background on that one. Captain Robert Parker Parrott is the one that created this, or he experimented with the manufacture of the artillery. I don't know if he created it, but it's named after him. And he experimented with projectile and fuses until his death in 1877. And you can see some of the trenches and earthworks that was done. And we'll be up there here in a few minutes. So you can tell we're on top of a hill, not the highest point, but it's very strategic locations. The height of this fort dominated them all. It talks about from the diary of Joshua Winters, rained on the evening of September 3rd, 1863. Talks about the hiking 12 miles to meet Stevens and started back to Petersburg. Wow. You can tell they put quite a bit of work into doing this. So thank you whoever set this up. Fantastic. Defending the fort. Clearly one of the fort's entrances as Sally Port was probably used, or probably needed here to rush men and perhaps cannon out to defend against an assault up the ravine behind me, which would be this right here. And I'm going to show you his diary again. If you want to pause it and start the video back up, go ahead and read it. It was a little harder to read. Here's his diary again. On September 41st, I had a frost that morning. And well, 17 miles today. Wow. So in 1863, here would have been a barren, muddy landscape with crude smoking huts half buried in the hillsides. Claim that there is, on the terrace below us, which you can't really see, that the remains of several winter quarter huts sites are there. This is what you call the federal log cabin. Federal non-commissioned officer quarters were temporary in nature and coarsely constructed. Offered little or no comfort other than respite from the winter wind and snow. Ranking officers fared better resting in private homes in the area. A common soldier would be issued a tent, which is sometimes placed on a rock foundation. Down there earlier, and this is up above. We'll walk around this part now. See a sign over there to go take a look at. So you need to understand, it's fighting in the Civil War. Nobody's fighting each other. These were people that could very easily have known each other before the war began. They ended up on the opposite sides. So this is approximately 700 feet east to west and 400 feet to north to south at its widest point. We're between two bomb-proof, and directly in front of you is a third, much larger. The remains of a fourth exist to the left. And these are structures destroyed by Confederate General Jubal Early's forces. And there's some more stuff from Joshua Winter. The last days of Fort Mulligan. Began to move on Petersburg on January 3rd, and their attention was capturing Colonel Thoburn's forces and destroying the fortification. Confederate forces attacked and captured the Union supply wagons en route to Petersburg. Thoburn, knowing that supplies were exhausted, learning the impending attack, evacuated the fort after midnight. And at daylight, January 31st, 1864, his combined Jubal Early and his combined forces opened fire. And this is the largest bomb-proof at the fort. And here is more from the diary of Joshua Winters. So I thank you for coming along on this tour of Fort Mulligan. Hope you learned something. I did. And I will see you on my next adventure.